everybody, my name is Luke Mar and this is Hot Mode, and today on Hot Mode we are coming to you with a reaction and roast from the Council of Fashion Designers of America Awards for the year 2022. You guys do not know the CFDA Awards, that's a U issue, but essentially there is a guild that hosts a vast number of American designers who all vote on who is the emerging designer of the year, who is the super great women's wear designer, who's the menswear, who's accessories. They give out different awards to people that are stylists or achievers in different places and things and moments and innovations. We're going to be talking about a few of the celebrity looks that went down. Let the games begin. Now, starting off, we have Addison Rae, and she is wearing a vintage Gareth Pugh dress. Here is the thing. Addison is very much so on it this week. She's handling it. She said, listen, I am in my fashion girl era. I'm pivoting to fashion woman, and I like it. I'm actually very proud and very happy. Addison has actually been working with vintage stores to pull looks like this. Gareth Pugh is a British designer, which for the CFDA Awards, I think maybe going for a more American archival moment would have been great, like a Todd Oldham, a Ralph Rucci, an Anna Sui. There's a bunch of different designers that we could have went for. So I will say, in that context, if you're not going to do an American designer, at least choosing Gareth Pugh, who is an incredible talent, is smart and appreciated. So Addison is wearing a gray and black gown. It is a hooded, draped style at the neck, and then it's pretty much a body-conscious gray silk cocktail dress that at the waist has a outflowing of black fabric to create a train. I love the hood. I think it's beautiful. I think that honestly it frames Addison's face so well. I think she genuinely looks gorgeous, and I think that bringing attention to that area is very, very smart when any sort of celebrity does it. Do I think that the dress fits phenomenally? No, I wouldn't say that I think the dress is a fantastic fit. I also, though, to give credit where credit is due, buying vintage, or she's wearing vintage, and that's a little bit different. It's not like she's getting custom looks off the runway or working with different brands, etc., etc. So I understand it to a degree, but I still think that the fit issues need to be addressed in this context. I don't hate the black train. I think that it's intriguing, it's interesting, it's not radical, but, you know, it's nice. The look is a very, very good participation trophy. I genuinely appreciate where she was going with it. I genuinely think that she's in the right direction. She's walking into this fashion consciousness, and I appreciate it, and I'm very happy. I think the hood is spectacular. I just think the fit of the dress doesn't lend it to be the wow moment that it could have been. Keep doing what you're doing. It's working. People are saying, oh, she looks good. She looks great, actually. I think that Addison is trying, and that we can all appreciate. If you told me like 2 weeks ago that Addison Rae was gonna become, or attempt to become a fashion girl, I would have not believed you, but here we are. As I always say, when it's bad, and I'll say it. But when it's good, I'll also say it. Next up, we have Amanda Seyfried, and she is wearing Michael Kors. Now, this is a look from the spring 2023 collection. The collection was very sort of 1970s New York Americana sportswear inspired. We can't see from Amanda's look because her hair is covering it, but it is a one-strap shoulder gown, pretty much like a knit top. It's not really a gown, it's more of like a bodysuit that has a skirt sort of paired over it. Then there is a black belt with gold buckle, and then a sheer skirt. Listen, the CFDA's, I wouldn't say, is the Met Gala by any means, so I understand wanting to work within a brand's ethos. Again, Michael Kors is not radical revolutionary. Michael Kors, very commercial, but usually very pretty, well fitted. That's kind of what you can expect, and it's all you should expect. Otherwise, being disappointed, that's a you issue. Do I think that the look is fantastic? No, I don't. Maybe the bodysuit could have fitted a little bit better. I understand the use of the sheer skirt, and I understand the belt. I just think the gold of the belt buckle and then the silver of the bangle doesn't really work in that context. I think that there are great Michael Kors moments to be had from that collection. I just don't think that this execution is very good, and that's upsetting to me because I'm an unabashed Michael Kors fanatic. I have become enthralled both by the man and by the brand. We could have done better. Sorry. Next up, we have Ashley Graham, and she is wearing Peter Doe. Now, Peter Doe was Women's Wear Designer of the Year, and Ashley Graham is wearing a look from the Spring 2023 collection, which is this brown chocolate trench coat that has been turned into a dress, and then a belt has been paired over top, a black double strap belt with a gold buckle. To me, it has a very intriguing shape, hardware element, which I like. The photo here is probably not as good as it was in person. Ashley, when she moved and grooved, looked really, really great. Do I wish that it was a better Peter Doe choice? Yeah, absolutely I do. Color works for her. I think the idea of doing the trench coat style as a dress is fine. I just wish that maybe it had been a little bit more tailor-fitted to Ashley specifically. And also, I think the belt, I get it, but I also don't. I think the black leather against the brown, it just doesn't deliver. I also maybe wish the shoe had been different, went for like a full Peter Doe platform boot, would have really been like striking and exciting and fun. There's a lot of styling choices that could have been different here and should have been different here. Next up, we have Edibiri, and she is wearing Thom Browne. Now, this is a look from the Spring 2023 collection as well. It is a gorgeous sky blue and peppermint green style. It's a crop double-breasted jacket that is paired with a polka-dotted half-pleated skirt. It has like a kilt feel to it. We can also see that there is a polka dot pant underneath and a pair of underwear that has been like hiked up over the skirt and sort of creates like a high-waisted element. There is a matching beautiful shoe. It's a brogue in white and again that peppermint green that has been turned into a heel. So Thom Browne, a designer that is known for suiting, playing on traditional menswear suiting elements and traditional sort of menswear accessories as well. And then the famous Hector bag in the shape of Thom's wonderful little dog, Hector. The thing that you can't see from this photo is that Ayo actually has like little cutouts on the side that expose a little bit of hip. I took a video, I was captured because Thom Browne's styling recently has been a lot about raising underwear and create a layering effect that's different than what we usually see on the runway. I love this look. I think it's fantastic. When we look at it from the runway, it's without the big sort of gorgeous cloak and it's without the vest and hat, which I think could have made it a little bit more kooky crazy over the top. I think this is perfect. It's minimal, the colors are chic, they work together really, really well. The idea of layering is there, it's brilliant, it's different. I understand people don't get it and people are gonna say, well, who's gonna wear that? It's like, because it's meant to be worn for a moment like this, you know what I mean? If you wanna wear it out and about, good for you. But Thom Browne is a brand about suiting. So they're gonna do a traditional suit and that's gonna sell and everybody's gonna wear them. But on the red carpet, during the fashion shows, there's this idea of fantasy, there's this idea of excitement, there's this idea of wonder and kindred spirits and making fashion feel fun and interesting. That's fashion too, so don't get it twisted. I love this. Ayo Edibiri has been like going for it as a fashion gal. And I love it, and I like where we're moving and grooving with it, and I just want to tell her, full steam ahead, keep going. The Hot Lamodis have your back. Next up, we had Cher wearing Chrome Hearts. Now, Chrome Hearts is a jewelry brand that also, on occasion, or maybe it's not just a jewelry brand, it's a jewelry brand that also does clothing, I think. But on occasion, they do a little custom moment, and I'm pretty positive that this off-the-shoulder leather jacket in black leather with silver hardware and a high slitted skirt is very Chrome Heartsy, you know, black and then silver accessories and crosses. The little crosses, which are the Chrome Heart signature sort of symbol on skirt above the slit, definitely gives away the fact that it's Chrome Hearts. Considering Cher doesn't really come out all that often fashion-wise, she's been doing a little bit more recently. I like the look. I think it's interesting. I think it's intriguing. It's not too grandiose, but Chrome Hearts isn't a brand that I think of when I think of grandiose and really well thought out intellectual fashion moments. I think it's a brand that more so is based on product, nice product, expensive product. I think it's captured essence here in this off-the-shoulder jacket with the skirt. I think it's done it well, you know what I mean? Like, if you could turn back time, I would turn back time and I would look at this again and again and again because it's a nice look. It doesn't hurt. I think it makes Cher look elegant, but I don't think that it's dowdy, older woman, which happens, I think, a lot of the times to older women when they go to sort of red carpet events and fashion moments. They get dressed like old ladies. And I think that for Cher, it's nice to also see that, listen, if you want to do that, that's great, live your best life. But also, that does not have to be the only thing that you have to wear. And I'm into it. Next up, we had Gigi Hadid, and she wore a Thom Browne look that I believe is from the Spring/Summer 2023 collection, but the men's collection. So essentially, it is made up of a pair of striped pants that have the usual Thom Browne cuff. There is another pair of underwear with the sort of signature Thom Browne red, white, and blue strip. The jockstrap sort of rises above the low slung pants. There is a cropped white button-up shirt, and then there is a plaid sort of tweed vest placed over top, and then Gigi has slung a plaid coat, was on the model over her shoulder. Thom Browne is the chairman of the CFDA as of right now. I just feel like there were better Thom Browne looks to have tapped into. I don't think this is necessarily a bad look. I just think that Gigi could have went for something a little bit more exciting. I feel as if she's been in a suiting vibe recently. Something a little bit more exciting and fun could have been whipped right up, I think. The shoes are okay with the socks. Yeah, they're fine. They're not really great. I just think that there needed to be a little bit more oomph to the look. I think the pants and the low slung with the jockstrap is cool. I think the crop button-up shirt is again cool. I think it plays on those menswear, traditional menswear elements of suiting. For Gigi, I would have liked something a little bit more pizzazzed up. You know what I mean? A little bit more Thom Browne creation, if you get what I'm saying. Next up, we have Halle Bailey, and she is wearing Carolina Herrera. Now, this is from the Spring 2023 collection. It is a one-shoulder, cut-out, high-slit dress in like a baby doll pink. It seems like Halle has been going for a lot of stomach revealing moments. I don't know if that has to do with her upcoming role as the Little Mermaid, but I like the idea of her being with a Carolina Herrera. I think it's a brand that's very safe, I think, as the next Ariel, going and moving in a very sort of safe, PG, Disney-ish manner. Makes sense. I get it if that's what we're trying to do. I just don't really love the dress. The floral ruffle here with the sleeve and the cutout and the high slit, it's just a lot. I think the color is really pretty. I think it's nice. I just think there's a lot of textures going on and it just doesn't flow all that well. And let's see the vision of it. We then had Jaden Smith. He is also wearing Thom Browne. Now this is a three-piece suit, you know, traditional menswear, all that jazz. You have the vest, you have a waistcoat, you have a nice sort of jacket, you have a nice pant. I love the pant and I love the jacket. I think that they are covered in some sort of light diaphanous material, and that's what gives it that texture. At first I thought it was tweed and that's why it looked kind of crunchy. In reality, it's not. I think it actually is like a light fabric that's been sewn on top to give it that effect and that figure. I love the shortness of the jacket sleeves that shows the cuff. I know some people are like, that's not how men are supposed to dress, and that's not what a suit's supposed to look like. But I think it's cool. I think it adds a different dimension. Thom Browne is a brand that's known for a sort of shrunken suit, and so that's what you're gonna get, and I love it. The shoes, they're okay. They're fine. I don't love them. I don't hate them. I just think that the jacket and the pant is great. I think the texture of it is fun. I like the fact that Jaden says, listen, I can do a lot. I can do a range of fashions, and a three-piece suit also looks fantastic on me, so I'm happy to see it. Next up, we have Janelle Monáe. She is also wearing Thom Browne. There is a lot of Thom Browne, but that's also because Thom Browne, again, was elected as the chairman of the CFDA. Janelle is going for her signature black and white style. This is a look from the Spring/Summer 2023 collection, and it is this beautiful opera cape. The collection for Thom Browne was held in the Opera in Paris, you know, the most famous, or one of the most famous operas in the world. This beautiful floor-length cape has two big bands of a ruffled sort of silk that wraps around it. It creates an intriguing shape at the waist, which normally you want to shrink that in a traditional sense, but Thom Browne says, listen, we're going to blow it out. We're going to make it more expansive. She also is wearing a beautiful high heel brogue by Thom Browne and the signature Thom Browne 4-stripe sock. She's also wearing the shoes and they say New York on them. You know, the CFDA is based in New York. A lot of the fashion industry in America is based in New York. Not all of it, but a lot of it. She's wearing a glittery crystallized Hector bag, and I have to say that Janelle looked ravishing in person. She understands how to command a look. Like, there is very rarely a moment where a look wears Janelle. She is very often wearing the look. The Hector bag, she walks the look. And I just love that she also goes for it. This is not the traditional look that somebody would go for. A lot of people sort of strip down these looks, take little pieces and make it a little bit more digestible, but Janelle just says, no, give me full look, I'll take it and I'll wear it and you're gonna thank me. She's doing her signature house codes, but we can see on the back of one of the models that there is a 01, which is on all of these coats, and these coats are a reference to sportswear. American fashion is often known for its sportswear capabilities, which is everyday wear. It's a little bit more technical. It's a little bit more for the movement and the groovement. It's very rare that designers put out these elaborate, over-the-top things are full of crazy crystals and beads and da-da-da-da-da. Like, they do it, but it's America. You think of, when you think of American fashion, you think of what? I don't know, like Aloe Yoga, Nike, Allbirds. That's what America is known for. Commercial, things that you wear in your everyday life, to go get coffee. The thing that I love about this look in particular is the fact that it has those numbers on the back not only references that sort of Americana-ness, American fashion, it also references the fact that Thom Browne his entire life grew up playing sports and didn't really get into fashion until he was like in college, about to be out of college. But he grew up in a family that was very sports heavy. I think he ran track for the majority of his adolescence. So to also have Thom sort of reference his own past and his own idea of Americana and sport and all of those things, but put it on a gigantic silk opera coat, makes it even better. They layer not only the outfits, but they layer the references in there too. Next up, we have Julia Fox, and she is wearing Valerievi, which is a Italian brand, I believe. And that's again, one of my issues is, listen, if we're gonna do the CFDA awards, just wear American designers. And I think a Julia Fox moment that I've literally seen with my own eyes is Julia Fox Elena Velez, who is one of the nominees and then subsequently the winner of the CFDA category for emerging designers. And I feel like that would have been a smart thing to do for Julia Fox. It would be great to wear it. It would be a moment. And that disappoints me a little bit with Julia Fox because I feel like we should have been more like fashion, American fashion, referencing and uplifting the talent in this moment. As for the look itself, it's a bra, it's a bikini sort of bottom, a shrug of sorts that turns into, I believe, a skirt, which I kind of love. Listen, I do. I think it's an intriguing sort of style. It exposes literally the thigh, pelvic, stomach, bust region, and it's all one piece, so it's linear. It's probably some sort of stretch material. Like, I think it's smart. I do. Genuinely, I think it's a cool look. I think it's a cool idea. I appreciate Julia Fox in this moment because it's definitely fashion, a bow. My issue really is like American designer in this moment. Would be good, would be smart. There's ways to play around it, and we'll talk about that later, but there are ways. Next up, we have Katie Holmes and Jonathan Simkai, but seeing Katie Holmes in this look, I think was really, really ravishing. I think she very much so drew my eye, honestly, rather often. This dress is pretty much a sheath dress, but it is a fully crystallized, it's a strapless sort of sheath dress, and then towards the bottom of the dress degrades into a little bit of a fringe. It's very simple in concept, you know what I mean? It's pretty much a cutout dress that is made up of a bunch of sort of strips and pieces. The look can still be dynamic. I think that it's a great example of American fashion. It can be very simple, it can be very easy to understand and easy to grasp, but it also can be very eye-catching, and those moments are very much so appreciated. I think Katie really, really does look good here. I don't even think the photos do her justice. I think she really just was effervescent, bubbly. She had a real sheen and a shine to her as she moved, light reflected off, and you kind of were like, hit me in the eye. But it was worth it. You were happy. Normally, I would be like, meh, but I think that a dress like this really brought out a lot in Katie, and I think Katie brought out a lot in the dress. She looked really stunning. Next up, we have Keke Palmer, and she wore Carolina Herrera by Wes Gordon as well. I think this is a great example of taking a dress from the runway that maybe is a little bit more conservative, I would say. I would say that, yes, is it an off-the-shoulder floral dress? But yes, it's an off-the-shoulder floral dress from literal Carolina Herrera. It's a brand that is a little bit more upper crust, a little bit more buttoned up. It's not, we are going to be the forefront of fashion. It's nice clothes that you can wear when you're going to get coffee at expensive place number A, B, or C on the Upper East Side. The thing is, I think that Keke took this off-the-shoulder look from the runway, and I think she's a great example of being able to make it her own. But I also think that it gives it a little bit more youthfulness, a little bit more liveliness. It's not as buttoned up. I also think the fact that we can see that there's a nice slit, a nice boot, a nice sort of gorgeous, stunning knee-length boot adds to the pizzazz of this floral look. The floral in and of itself, it's very Bunny Mellon, who is the reference for the collection, but I think that adding the boot really gives it that little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more excitement, a little bit less, I'm wearing a ball gown to a ball gown function, a little bit more, listen, I'm wearing a ball gown, but I'm gonna make it fun. I'm gonna, go full printage. We love that. I think the slit, the way that it exposes a lot of thigh is great. Listen, do I love the fact that we can actually see what I believe to be like a pocket line defining? No, but do I like the fact that it has pockets? Yes, absolutely I do. In reality, I think this is a great sort of masterclass in showcasing that you can take looks that are a little bit more buttoned up and make them a little bit more fun and funky. You can sell the garment with the proper attitude and styling. And I think Keke does a great job of that. Next up, we have Kendall Jenner. She is wearing Kate, which is a American brand and won Women's Wear Designer of the Year. Essentially, Kendall's really wearing a fitted, plunging, white, sequined cocktail gown that has a little spaghetti strap moment. There's nothing really too exciting about it. I don't hate it, you know what I mean? Like, it's American designer, so again, expecting non-simplicity, you're gonna be disappointed, you know what I mean? Low expectations when it comes to moments like this if you're thinking that you're gonna get the avant-garde moments of Rei Kawakubo. It's really a simple dress, but it fits well. I think that's important. Listen, if you are going to go simple, shit has to fit good. And I think it fits well. There's not a pause, play, stop, fast forward, rewind button anywhere on the dress, so that also is rather enjoyable. The sequins I feel like they're fine, but they could be, again, a little bit more exciting. You know, it could have been jazzed up a little bit. I think Kate, at least when they shoot their lookbooks and oftentimes the runway, it always has a little bit more of like a gothic feeling to it. It feels dark, it feels moody, and I get that for the everyday customer. They probably are not thinking, yes, I would like for my luxury dress to feel like Spencer's, and not that I think Kate looks like Spencer's when it comes to the lookbooks, but Hot Topic Spencer's goth vibe is where I'm going. I just wish that there was a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a punch to it, because I think it's just a little bit too plain Jane. Of course, I get it. I'm not really heartbroken about it. CFDAs. I think that there could have been a little bit more of something besides just Kendall Jenner to really make it stand out. I don't hate it, I just don't love it. Next up, we have Kerry Washington, and she is wearing Vera Wang. I believe that this is a custom look, and it's essentially a blazer that has been given a intriguing update. The blazer, traditional black blazer, has been given garter straps that essentially would come down and, you know, hold up your garter, which I think is cool and definitely very interesting for Vera. When Vera does an intriguing fashion experience, she goes for it. The skirt underneath is sort of like a rustled moment, and then there's little ruffles that run along the bust line of the jacket. There's a little ruffle at the elbow. The thing is, Kerry also was honoring Law Roach, her stylist, so I think Kerry might have said, listen, I'm just gonna take a little bit of a back seat in this moment. Law is the feature. I don't want to take too much space up, and I'll let Law sort of do his thing. So I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I think it was fine. I think it's different for Kerry. It's a little bit more simplistic, but there was the attempt, you know what I mean? The garter belt, blazer, the ruffle. It was attempted. It felt a little bit lingerie inspired, but take traditional masculine tailoring elements and give it that. So like, I appreciate where we were going. Do I think that it really was jaw-dropping? No. But do I think that it was really meant to be super jaw-dropping? No. It was inspired, and that's okay for the context of the experience. Next, we have Khloe Kardashian, and she is wearing what I believe to be a custom Laquan Smith dress. It is some sort of, I would say like a copper bronzy dress that in reality is a high neck, has one sleeve, and then has a slit right through the bust stomach region diagonally, exposes a little bit of an under boob, and then comes down, is floor length, and has train. Listen, Laquan Smith does sexy. That's what usually happens. So to see something like this, I'm not really shocked. I don't think it out of left field whatsoever. I actually kind of appreciate that Khloe seems to be going for a little bit more fashion oriented, looking to good fashion designers to dress her. So I appreciate that. Do I think that it's the best look in the entire world? No. Do I think that Khloe should cultivate a little bit more taste? Yes, I do. And not that I think that Laquan Smith is bad taste. I just think that it's not the most inspired Laquan Smith look ever. But I appreciate where Khloe is going. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate it. I would prefer that she keeps pushing herself to be a little bit more intriguing and interesting and memorable and all of that. But she also wore an American designer, so like, I'll take it. You know what I mean? It was simple, it was there. It's not wow, but props for at least understanding what the theme was. Next up, we have Kim Kardashian, and she is wearing Dolce & Gabbana with Skims underneath. She received an award for, I think, the Innovator of the Year or something from the CFDA with Skims, which is her shapewear brand. Good for you. I'm not going to sit here and say that's bad. I think that she understands shapewear. I think that she is pivoted into a smart business. The use of wearing Dolce & Gabbana, who's not an American brand, and also is Dolce & Gabbana, which Kim also did a whole collection with Dolce, and then using Skims underneath. It's just like stupid. I feel like Kim should have went for a brand that is young, is cool, is American, is up and coming. Honor the CFDAs. You're winning the Innovator Award, so innovate on your shapewear and like make an interesting, intriguing look. Like have it custom made. It would be really cool. I'm sure somebody could think of something cool. There just are ways to go about doing that that would be like smart. I just feel like the Dolce plastic dress is not smart, it's not intriguing, it's not memorable, it's not anything of the sort. It's kind of dumb in the grand scheme of things. There's nothing innovative about it. Receive an award for being innovative, so I'm confused, and that's my issue. Next up, we have Kris Jenner, personally favorite Kardashian Jenner of the night. Kris wore Schiaparelli. Listen, Schiaparelli, you would say, oh, it's an Italian brand, da-da-da-da-da. But then you might say, oh my gosh, wait, Daniel Roseberry, who's the creative director, is an American. Apparently that was too difficult to understand for the majority of the gals. So Kris is wearing this asymmetrical drape dress that then is floor length. She's wearing a little Schiaparelli eyeball bag and a leather glove. She looks nice. I don't hate it. I think it's a little bit chic. I think it has different elements. It's not the worst Kris Jenner look I have ever seen in my entire life. So like, I'm happy about this. I like a Schiaparelli moment. I think that going the all black route is nice. I think that it's a nice fit. I think that it showcases body, but it's not, you know, body con. She looks good. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just Kris existing, and I'm okay with this. And also, she's wearing an American designer. Not an American brand, but an American designer. Thank you, Kris, for understanding the assignment. Next up, we have Kylie Jenner, and she is wearing Mugler. Now, listen, in the grand scheme of things, if Kylie wore this to something, would I be like, yeah, it's a nice look. It's intriguing, it's beautiful, it's Mugler, great. You know, it's a one shoulder little moment with a gorgeous pleated technique, sculpts the body. It's a gorgeous velvet skirt with a high sort of slit that dips down into the pelvic region. And then there's like a matching little off the shoulder sleeve. Is that cool? Yeah, sure, great, no problem. Like, well, you know, happy for you. But it's the CFDA awards. So the thing is, you're wearing Mugler, yes, but you're wearing vintage Thierry Mugler from like 1999. You're not wearing current Casey Cadwallader Mugler, who I'm sure would have made a custom look for the evening. Have Casey recreate the look in a more modern, intriguing way, and then you and Kris would have both been the smarties, along with Khloe, of the gang. But no, we're wearing just vintage Mugler. And that's my issue. It's everybody that did not wear an American design. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like the theme is in front of you. It's kind of easy. It's very simple. America. You don't have to pull out all the stops. You don't have to watch a 20-minute Hot Mode video to understand what the theme is. You just gotta do America. You could wear a low-key 4th of July outfit, and I'd still have to give you credit. That's my issue. Is like, is it a nice dress? Yeah, sure, it's intriguing. I like the textile elements of it. I think that she looks good. It's just, what does this have to do with the CFDA? I'm pretty positive that the dress code is legit titled Archival American. Pretty positive that is the dress code. Next up, we had Law Roach wearing Oscar de la Renta. Now, this is custom Oscar. It is a polka dot experience. It's pretty much, from my understanding, a blazer suit sort of jacket cut. We can see if we zoom in, we can see that it really is a sort of blazer suit jacket cut. It has lapels, it has sleeves, but it seems like it's also been turned into a caftan dress experience. It's floor length. It's in this gorgeous black and white polka dot. Now, personally, my opinion is it's an American brand. He's a Dominican designer. He was a Dominican designer, as people like to point out in the comments, and I get it, but it's an American brand. It was founded in America, so it's a Dominican-American brand. Oscar worked in Spain when he was young for Isa, which is the brand that Cristobal Balenciaga had that was based in Spain. That was not Balenciaga, okay? So, my thing is, Balenciaga is a brand that loved a polka dot, loved it. And I'm pretty positive that there are different elements of Balenciaga that Mr. Oscar and Mr. De La Renta took and said, listen, I'm going to continue this work and continue these sort of elements and bring it back to my own brand and rework them and all those sorts of things. And he did. He did it. He loved a nice bustle experience. He loved a polka dot. He liked a floral. I think that's where the inspiration for this comes from, and it's very much an Oscar sort of house code. I think that this is great. I think Laura Kim and Fernando Garcia did a great job with this look. Considering, again, it's the first time that Oscar is really doing a look for men's, it's nice. I also think the fact that you're taking that traditional element of a suit jacket and not just doing the usual, it's a suit jacket, so we made it like pink. it's a suit jacket and we turned it into like a caftan dress. And that I love. That I think is brilliant. I think it's different. I think it's something we don't really see all that often. You can still see the infrastructure of the jacket, but in reality, it's a dress. And I love it. I think Law looked fantastic. I think that he carried the look super duper well. Kerry Washington also carried the look super duper well because she was carrying Law's train. Law understands how to turn a look. You know what I mean? Like, he's not only a stylist who was winning an award, the first stylist award that they were giving out, but he also knows how to turn out a look for himself. Congrats to the Oscar team. It was a moment. Next up, we had Lenny Kravitz, and he wore Laquan Smith, again, American designer. It looks like it's a traditional sort of suit blazer jacket, and it has cutouts on the side, so it exposes a little bit of the waist, but then there seems to be like a shaggy feather situation running down the sides of the jacket, which I think is intriguing. You know, at first I thought, oh, it's monkey fur, but it's not. I would presume that it was fake monkey fur, but it's not. It's feathers. And then there's a leather pant. Shine on that is leather. And it's kind of like a flare pant, but it's baggy and it's kind of loose, which I think is intriguing. Listen, is it my favorite look? No. I wish maybe the look was a little bit more, I think that there are Laquan moments that are a little bit more pizzazzy. I wish that this was that, but I like the fact that we, again, are subverting traditional suiting techniques and styles, adding feathers, doing cutouts, things like that. I also wish that the pants were in like the same fabric as the actual suit jacket. I just think it would have added to the suited material and vibe, and you still could have done the flare and that would have been fine. So that's my issue, is I think the pants are a little bit discombobulated from the top. You know what I mean? The top is like fighting the pants for attention, and that shouldn't happen. Next up, we have Natasha Lyonne, and she is wearing Proenza Schouler. This is a look from the brand Spring 2023 collection. Now, Natasha was hosting the actual event, so it's a sleeveless tunic style with buttons running down the front. I would say like a khaki sandish sort of collar and a khaki sandish lace shirt underneath of the actual sleeveless tunic sort of style, and then a flare pant that has white piped flamenco-y sort of flounces that jut out as Natasha and or the model walk. I appreciate the idea of doing like a 1970s sort of tunic over pant reference. I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. I think it definitely, I just don't understand the need for like the sand color collar and lace. Like, I just wish we had gone for a white. I just think that it would have tied the whole look together. Listen, it's a whole lot of look to begin with, between the flounces and the lace and the collar and all, you know, the silhouette of tunic and pant. It's a lot. I just think the white would have brought it all together. Do I hate the look? No, I don't. I do think that it definitely is something to behold. If you want to call it ugly, I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. But I do think that there's a coolness to the look. I just wish that there were elements of it that had been changed. That's my big issue. It's there. Could be worse. Next up, we have Noah Beck wearing Coach. Now, I believe that this is a look from Spring 2023, and now I know that this blazer is actually made from upcycled leather from old Coach styles, which I think is really, really cool. Stuart Vevers has been working towards the whole sustainability aspect and element, and I appreciate it. I just think that the jacket, while I like it, I like the size of it, I think it's intriguing. I like the fact that we can see little elements of the cracked leather part towards the cuff of the sleeve and towards the hem of the jacket. The actual blazer size and length doesn't do a great job of proportioning Noah. I think that pants, they seem, although I'm sure that they're also like a leather, I don't know if the fit is fantastic and the shoes are just kind of blah. That's my issue. It doesn't feel super memorable. I like the upcycle. I like the sustainability element. And listen, if we're going for grunge vibes, cool. Coach Americana, not super out of the crazy kooky elements, but I know that also with Coach there's moments to be had where things are chic and exciting and cool and wonderful, and this doesn't read that, unfortunately. Next up, we have TikTok's favorite fashion man, Wisdom K, and he is wearing, I believe, a host of brands. He's wearing, I think, a Dries suit, an Etro shirt, and a Gucci velvet bow tie. Do I wish that Wisdom had done his full Rick Owens experience? Absolutely. Rick Owens PR, I don't know why we were not on this. We should have been. We should have let this man continue to exude the excellence that is the Rick Owens aesthetic. I just think it would have been fantastic, but Wisdom also said that he was in the process of moving. You know, I get it. Things happen. And also, like, when you're a self sort of styling person, it's different than when you have a stylist. My issue is not an American brand. I like Drees and I like Gucci, Etros, whatever. We need the Americana moment. Do I think the suit is nice? Absolutely. Do I think the shirt is okay? Yeah. Do I think the velvet bow tie to the side is a different kind of styling that I think seems fun and cool, and we're trying to jazz it up a little bit? Absolutely. But I think it should have been American brand. Also, I think it's a little bit blasé for Wisdom vibe. I'm used to seeing, and then my eyes kind of like roll into the back of my head because I'm so amazed at what this man is able to put together at almost all times. So listen, when you carry the whole fashion TikTok world on your back for so long, everybody's allowed to have a down day. I'm fine with that. I want to see my moments from Wisdom. So people, why are we not dressing this man? Why are we not laying out the red carpet for him to serve on? Thank you. Have a nice day. And last but not least, we have Zoe Dutch. She is wearing Coach. This is from the Spring 2023 collection as well. It is a silky little dress with daisy embroidery. A very short dress. It has a little bit of a daisy sort of yellow petal on the hem, which I actually like. I think it's cool. It's like a way of making the hem a little bit more intriguing. If we zoom in, we can see that the shapes of these little yellow pieces at the bottom are almost like daisies that, does he love me? Does he love me not? Does he love me? Does he love me not? Which I think is cool. I think it's fun. I think it's chic. I think it's young. I think it's elegant. The Mary Janes, I don't hate. It's a baby doll dress pretty much. I do love if we can zoom in and see that towards the neck there is a little bit of pleated bib to the collar, which I think is cool and fun. Again, it's a really subtle detail, but it's nice. Listen, I don't hate it. I kind of like it. I think it's sweet. I think there's details that are intriguing and nice, memorable and cool, and the devil is in the details in that look, and I'm okay with that. So that is the end of the CFDA Awards Red Carpet Roast and Review. Let's talk about a best and worst. Best, I'm going to be putting Ayo Edibiri on, Katie Holmes, Keke Palmer, Janelle Monáe and Thom Browne, putting La Roche. As for worst, who do we gotta give it to? I gotta put No on there. I gotta put Kim Kardashian on there. I think I gotta put Amanda Seyfried on there. There were moments to be had. It just was not those ones. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on all of these looks. I will see you guys in the next video, and TTYL.